Miami GP is gone, and this is the aftermath, the post-race and analysis of Miami GP. It was a very interesting race. Miami GP has still proven to us that no pole-sitter will win the race for now. This should be the third year running, and pole-sitter have not won the race. Now, what did we see in the race? Oscar Piastri won the race conveniently. For McLaren, it was a convenient race for them to win. Yesterday, when Andre Stella was joking about they giving Max Verstappen the position to lead, I was laughing. Yeah, it sounds crazy and embarrassing, but going into the race, the Red Bull got to know that they don't have that pace. The Red Bull will be fast on some track, not on all tracks. So also McLaren, they are not fast on all tracks. But it looks like on the one pace, the Red Bulls are faster than McLaren. But on speed or full race pace, they are still struggling. They need to get back that balance. You can also see that with the Williams. On race pace, they are not as fast as the Ferrari on race pace. But on one lap pace, they are faster than the Ferrari. They are very close to the Mercedes. And that is a good job for James Vowles, in which he has done in the last 3 years. He has really transformed that team from a team that fight for last position to a team that is now the cheerleader of the midfield, also fighting head to head with the top team. Talking about Ferrari, I think it's showing how Ferrari has been managed for a long time, and it's disgracing. The way the race panned out today is disgracing, and I think the damage control Fred Vasseur is trying to do, or the team is trying to do, is just the way they've run that team for a long time, and it shows why Ferrari cannot win a championship. You have a bad car, you have two talented drivers, and it's taking you forever to make decisions. Ferrari could have come in the race probably fifth. They could have gone ahead of Alex Albon. Now Ferrari had the chance of leaving Lewis Hamilton that was able to light up his tire as fast as possible to challenge Kimi Antonelli and challenge Alex Albon. That will give his teammate an opportunity to warm up his own tire also and come back, and they can give the place back. But it took Ferrari 3 to 4 laps of squabbling, of Lewis Hamilton losing the whole of his performance life of his tire behind his teammate before Ferrari could allow him. Meanwhile, Antonelli built their gap. You know what somebody said? Chris Enne, official on my Instagram, said, "You see Ferrari's master class, abi disaster class. It was a real disaster class. As in, where are you coming from? You need to work together to win." And I think this boils down to a whole lot of communication issue and a whole lot of youthfulness and greed in that Ferrari. You want to win, you need to understand strategies to win. You need to speak to Charles and Lewis Hamilton to understand that this is how we should run the Ferrari. What are you thinking? You have a bad car, you still have a bad strategy. Ferrari wanted Lewis to give the place back. They spoke to Charles first. Lewis had passed the turn. They wanted him to give the place back, and it was all commotion. And I'm like, yepa, what is happening in Ferrari? You don't run races on the risk of losing. What a masterclass by McLaren to finish the race 1-2. It was an interesting race for them because they had the pace and they had the opportunity to give places back, like when Lando Norris had to give the place back because he forced Max Verstappen out of the track and he himself was out of the track, so he had to give the place back. And they gave it back. On the second lap, he overtook him, which was a masterclass. And Oscar Piastri is showing his dominance and he's showing that he's far, far better than Lando Norris. Oscar Piastri is just 3 years in the race and he has won more races than Lando Norris. One of the things about Lando Norris is some people say Lando no wins, but he's having wins now, is that he talks too much than what he can do. When he starts acting more, doing more, then we start seeing his prowess, his versatility, and how well he can drive that team. And congratulations also to Oscar Piastri. He is the only driver this season that have won 3 races back to back. What a good guy he's turning to. And going to Imola next race, it gives them more time to unwind and get the best out and see where they can really turn their minds to. But this is looking like a beautiful, beautiful season. To Max Verstappen and also Inspector Max Verstappen that monitors everything on the race. I love Max Verstappen for so many things. He's driving his car, monitoring his car, he's monitoring you, telling the team the mistakes you are making. That shows how good he is and how focused he is. Gave them a fight, but the fight was not easy today. And I think also Red Bull made a mistake in the strategic call, which gave George Russell an advantage to overtake Max Verstappen. And Max Verstappen finished the race in 4th position. But it was a good race for him. Kimi Antonelli, I think Kimi Antonelli has performed a good race this weekend. On Friday, sprint qualifying, he took the pole position. On Saturday, during the sprint, he came home with points. During the main qualifying, he was third. During the main race, he came home with some points. Even with all the disasters, whatever he went through in the race, he was still more focused. I think we are seeing the emergence of one of the greatest drivers that we'll see in Formula 1. And Isaac Hadjar has always impressed, trying to close down Yuki Tsunoda, his former teammate, to get the 10th position. Yuki Tsunoda got 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and Isaac Hadjar drove a beautiful race today. say kudos to Lewis Hamilton in that Ferrari. He was able to get some maximum point from 12 to 8. That is a good jump for him. Great racing for George Russell. He has always been in top 5 all through this season, and he has always ended racing good point. And that, I think, would help him capitalize on how he can overtake Max Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship, because with the rate at which he is going, if he keeps the momentum in which he is, he might overtake or possibly end up in 3rd position from what we are looking at. But he's doing a good race, though still has a lot to learn, and I think he needs to put his head down and learn from those that have really driven ahead of him and that can inspire him to do a great job. To Aston Martin, another shambolic day for Aston Martin. Both Aston Martin came in last after all the guys that DNF'd. Jack Doohan DNF'd from the beginning of the race because he had a squabble or a collision with Liam Lawson. Liam Lawson also ended his own race because of the damage to his car. Bortoleto was out of the race. I think it was an engine issue. Ole Bierman too was out of the race because of an engine issue. But Aston Martin, no engine issue, no car issue. People are saying they are focused on 2026 car. So there's a probability that all through this season, Aston Martin might just go home with 30 points. Yes, Williams are looking at next year, but they are not sleeping on their horse to think that, oh, until next year. They are doing a beautiful job. They are pushing themselves to make sure that they are able to get maximum points. If possible, go ahead of Ferrari. Yes, that is where Williams is going to, because they've been strong in the last 2 races. To Alex Albon, what a great race. Hope he gets a kiss from his girlfriend. His girlfriend came to watch the race. Nico Hülkenberg and Sauber, himself and Bortoleto. I don't know the problem of Nico Hülkenberg, but I think Nico Hülkenberg needs to gel himself into that team. He was driving a Ferrari engine before. Now he's still driving a Ferrari engine. What is going on with him? Why is he not fitting into the team so well? Well, I don't know. Also to Esteban Ocon, great race yesterday, great qualifying, and I think he still has more to do to put himself into that team. Settle down well, because he's coming from a Renault engine to a Ferrari engine, and I think he's still having so many difficulties in fitting in. But in the end, we saw that the McLaren still has the pace. They are the ones in charge. How can others, especially Ferrari, catch up? Ferrari needs to do a mindset overhaul and also start owning to their mistakes. See, stop hiding behind excuses. Ferrari are hiding behind a lot of excuses. That is why they are where they are. They will never improve if they still keep hiding behind excuses. That is for Ferrari. For Red Bull needs to also upgrade the car, make the car faster towards Yuki Tsunoda, because Yuki Tsunoda is struggling. All the drivers that have driven against Max Verstappen in that car are struggling. They need points if they want to be a contender in the Constructors' Championship, because if it keeps going like this, Ferrari will go ahead of Red Bull in Constructors' Championship, which means they might end 4th, while Max Verstappen will do well as a driver in the Drivers' Championship, which is not good for the team. So Mercedes, the upgrade they've brought this weekend has performed, and I think they just need to do some tweaks and learn more to get maximum out of it. They are on the right. They're doing a good job. As well, the tight midfield that we are having as competing with RB and also Williams, and these other 2 teams are doing a terrific job. As are doing a good job, but they need to see themselves in the space of Williams and how Williams have improved, so that they can also bring things that will improve that team. To RB, Isaac Aja is driving that team even before Yuki Tsunoda left. We don't know where Liam Lawson's head is, but I hope he does not lose his head, because where he is now, he's really struggling. He's making a whole lot of mistakes, and I believe the team should have left him in Racing Bull last year to grow before they jumped him, and now he's having an effect on him. To other rookies, especially Jack Doohan, I think Jack Doohan needs more work to do. So Alpine as a team, I think by the end of the season, they will need to be thankful they're able to finish this season, because this rise and fall that they're having is not working for them. I'll bring you more analysis to analyze some part of the race and to make you see what some other teams need to do to make themselves better. But the high point of today were 2 teams, Ferrari, McLaren. McLaren are doing well. Ferrari are on the cusp of self-implosion, and if there's a self-implosion, they will really know how they themselves have damaged themselves and damaged that, because the serious performance in that car, how can they get it out? That's the problem. Going to Italy in the next race and they still have this shambolic performance, to be a sorry case, because Italians will not be so happy. Up until the next one, there will be some shots coming out. Please, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, comment, like. Let us see what you feel about the races and what you need to know, and we will surely answer you. I love you guys. Bye. Cheers.